The following video contains profanity and language that some viewers may find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And y'all, I know I am super duper late, with my recap of Love is Blind Season 3. But I've been tired, y'all. I have a lot of things happening in my personal life, and it's October, so I'm trying to do double features on Friday. So I just had a lot going on this week and last week, and I low-key was not even gonna do these recaps, and not even gonna call it a recap, honey. Do the review for Love is Blind Season 3. But y'all, it's so much shit going on this season that I feel like I need to express myself. So it's not gonna be like I did last season where I did like a recap per couple and all that. I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the time for that. So really, this is just going to be me literally just giving my thoughts on the season so far. So since this is kind of unorthodox, I want to actually start with obviously the pods, because at least I'm going to do that. We have to start in these pods, okay? And what I really want to talk about are these damn love triangles, okay? The producers of the show, y'all are not slick, okay? Now, seasons before, there have been a couple of little love triangles here and there, but this episode, it's almost every single couple except Alexa and Brennon. What the hell is even going on? So the first love triangle I want to talk about, honey, dang near is a love square. It's Nancy, Barstool, what's his name, Bartise, Andrew, Raven, SK. It is so much happening. Nancy, first of all, she looks like a younger Selma Hayek to me. Just let me know your thoughts. I think she's gorgeous. She is so sweet, so bubbly. Love her. But I'm like, girl, how did you end up with your two top people? Andrew, he's so cringe, okay, with his fake ass eye drop tears. We'll talk about it. And Bartise. What's his name? Bartise. Yeah, Bartise. Ciao. I mean, how she could not have picked two of the most arrogant, conceited, just guys in the pods. I mean, first of all, Andrew, with all of his, I traveled here, and I was like, fuck it, let's take the Maserati to Paris and then go to London and then we'll go to Mars. Shut up. You are annoying. And then his whole talk about sex and how men can have an orgasm without ejaculating. You ain't talking about nothing revolutionary. If y'all can see the title of this book, it is called Male Multiple Orgasm and Other Secrets of Prolonged Lovemaking. Sir, this book was published, because he didn't like to have, just made me all kinds of mad, honey. This book was published 1994. With your sexual, shut up, you read this book, okay? Because this book is all about that, okay? Don't ask why I got it. I still can't get past Andrew and them fake ass tears. He knew the shit was gonna be on TV. He talking about, the camera's rolling, let me get my eye drops. And then it's gonna fake sniffle. I know he released a statement about the footage that was aired. I haven't read it because I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of bullshit. I would much rather see it addressed on the reunion if they address it, because them damn Lachey's are running it again. So ain't no telling how that's gonna go. It's gonna be more about them and their marriage than these couples, but y'all know how that is. And this Bartise, honey, look, I cannot for the life of me stand him. His whole thing with Raven, oh my God, you work out, I'm sure she's like a baddie. Oh, I'm sure she's so hot. Oh, shut up. Raven, SK, Bartise. Okay, so initially in the pods, Raven, I was not feeling her. I was like, okay, Netflix, I don't know what beef you have with blonde women, but I'm gonna need somebody at the Netflix headquarters to get it together, because this is the third season we done had a blonde. Even though, well, she might be a natural blonde, but, she's still a blonde nonetheless. Raven is bitchy. I'm going to say it. And so I feel like blonde women of the world, y'all need to, stand up, protest, get some representation over there at Netflix, because for some reason, somebody over there in casting don't like y'all, and they're trying to paint y'all in a bad light, okay? But Raven, I was just like, ew, girl. You are about, maybe you and Batiste are perfect for each other, because you're sitting up here doing jumping jacks while he's trying to be open and vulnerable with you about his parents and their split up, divorce, or whatever the hell he was talking about, child. I probably been doing jumping jacks too. But I was just like, girl, that is so rude. And I'm glad that Batiste called it out. And I was also glad that, you know, she kind of let Batiste know, even though Batiste tried to do that whole I'm gonna break up with you before you break up with me thing, but it didn't work because Raven was just not feeling him anyway. So I like that they both mutually were like, this just isn't gonna work. Like, it's not giving what we think it's supposed to give. And Batiste tried to make it seem like, oh yeah, it's cool, it's cool. You know, he's a gym bro. And Raven really meant it, and Batiste was still, you know, kind of in his feelings. It was like, I was preparing my proposal for one girl today, and now preparing another one for Shut Up, Shane, part 2. Little jerk. And poor SK, honey, then got brought to the middle of this. He seemed like he is just so sweet, just so sweet old Nigerian man, honey. He just want to find his wife. He want to go ahead, and I'm sure he probably going to school to be a doctor. I don't remember. But he's Nigerian, and the likelihood that it's something that is going to make him 6 figures, in the high 6 figures once he graduates, is very high, because they are very business focused and they don't play no games. So Raven, you lucked out, girl, because he's handsome, he's sweet, he's kind of boring, snooze fest, but he's going to make some really good money. And I was very shocked that he was all about Raven. That whole little love square was a hot mess. And as soon as I was like, Batiste picked Nancy, he gonna see Raven out in the real world, and he's gonna be like, oh, I should have picked her. And we're gonna talk about that bullshit in a little bit. Okay, so now let's go to this next love gobbledygook. Okay, honey, that damn Colleen, the ballerina, she was driving me nuts with the whole ballerina thing. Like, it's one thing to be proud of your profession. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? You're a ballerina, girl. Do you. Black Swan it up. I love to see it. Come on, Nutcracker. But also, girl, why did you have the company that would, which means I'm flexible and I'm limber. I can do the splits. That's all you need to know. Girl, if that's how you're leading in the real world in dating, this is why your ass is still single, and why you feel like men only talk to you for a little bit because it's cute to date a ballerina and then they move on. Because, girl, why are you leading with I can do the splits? You don't need to give that man a visual of you dropping it low and spreading it wide. Girl, leave something to the imagination, honey. Invite him to a recital or something. Let him see you pirouette. Crazy ass. So Colleen, honey, she has, according to her, she had only one guy in her top. But let's really talk about what was going on. So Colleen was vibing with Brennon and Cole, okay? Off the top. We saw Matt a couple times. We ain't know no damn Matt, honey. The only Matt we knew was the Matt at the front door, okay? We didn't know a Matt. All we knew was Brennon and Cole. Brennon was really sweet, but as soon as he connected with Alexa, aka baby Khloe Kardashian, he was smitten, he was done. Colleen was out of here, okay? And then the way Colleen reacted when Brennon broke the news to her, I wanted to punch her in the face, because he was trying to be a gentleman, explain to her that he really liked her, but he really met somebody that he had a strong connection with, and he really liked the girl. She was like, I get it, enough. Colleen, really? This man is trying to be respectful. He's obviously nervous. Like, have some grace, honey. You're a ballerina. So after she got pissed off about that, then she was all about Cole, and I thought Cole and Colleen were going to end up a match. I mean, let me know in comments below. Did y'all think that too? Because I absolutely thought they were going to be a match. And I thought it was so cute when Colleen got her Sylvia Brown on, and Cole asked what kind of animal did she think he had on his socks. And she was like, I don't know why, but I'm picking up turtles. I thought that was so cute, because he was like, they are turtles, oh my God. I was like, oh, that is adorable. Okay, they gonna pick each other. And then Cole asked about her being shallow. Well, not about her being shallow, but saying that he needs a deeper relationship and deeper conversation in a relationship. And Colleen was pretty much like, well, you're gonna look somewhere else, baby, because I'm shallow as a kiddie pool. She said, I never got deep in a relationship, so I'm not about to start now. So take it or leave it. I'm a ballerina, bitch. I do the splits. And Cole, surprisingly, because I feel like he's goofy doofy, but he was just like, it's not gonna work. I need somebody with some depth, and if you're not willing to do that, I'm gonna go on here to my girl Zanab. Okay, she's another part of this triangle square cornucopia of love. Okay, he's gonna go over here to his girl Zanab and try it out with her because he connected with her deeply. Here's my thing, y'all. This whole, we connected deeply. They always say that shit after the person discloses some personal shit about their life growing up. Baby, that don't mean you love them. That don't mean y'all connecting on a deeper level. That just means you probably showing some empathy or sympathy for that person. That don't equate to love. That equates to, oh wow, that had to be a hard time for you. I feel compassion for you. Both feel good feelings, not the same as love. I'm just saying. So whenever they're like, wow, I really got deep with this person, I feel like that's a connection. I really love them. No, you're just having a good conversation with somebody. I hate when they do that. But anyway, so Cole breaks it off with Colleen, and she is devastated. And she's in there dry heave crying, and the women are half-ass hugging her. Like, if y'all notice, Raven was like not really touching her. She was kind of laughing. I don't know if she was laughing at Colleen or she was uncomfortable with the situation. I don't know. But I was like, girl, you are just not it for me, okay? So Cole decides to go with Zanab, which I'm like, I don't see the connection. Like, it's giving, I don't know. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling their connection in the pods. I'm like, this is not going to work. They are too opposite. She is very dry. She has her moments when she can let loose, but I feel like he is too high energy for her, and she's going to be too serious for him. And is. Okay? Then, out of nowhere, here comes fucking Matt. Matt? Y'all, when I was watching it, I literally said that. Matt? Who the hell is Matt? Here he come. And here she's like, oh my God, you know, I just feel like you should have been the one I picked all along. Girl. And then later on, talking about, you were always my top. When? He was number 3. He wasn't even top 2. He was the 3rd runner up. Damn near just got a participation trophy. Matt, that's why y'all gotta be careful what y'all name y'all kids, okay? He was destined to be walked all over, okay? His parents named him Matt. Ciao. And Matt is crazy as hell, honey. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Let's keep on going with these triangles. Well, actually, that's it. That is it. Because then we got Alexa and Brennon, who, I just love you so much. Oh, baby. Oh, jeez, that won't last. I hate it. Just being like, this show just drives me crazy with that. I just love you so much. You're like my best friend. Y'all just mad. Y'all not besties. Like, cut it out. You know, if I were on this show and I connected with somebody, I would be so turned off if he was like, I love you. You don't love me. You just met me. Now, if you were to say, I'm really enjoying our connection. I really feel like I like you a lot. I would love to continue this outside the pods. Will you marry me so we can continue dating? I'd be like, hell yeah. Because now you're speaking my language because you're practical and that makes sense. But all this romanticizing love and I love you and I only met you and talked to you for 3 days, get out my face. And so before we exit out of the pods, okay, let me just bring up something about Raven that I had to even write this down in my notes so I would not forget to talk about it. Y'all, when Raven went into that damn date with Bartise and was being all dramatic about, I have something to tell you and it's not easy for me to tell this to guys and blah, blah, blah. Let me know in comments below. I just knew this bitch was going to say she had OnlyFans. That's what I thought. Either that or like Bartise said, she was a stripper. This girl talking about, well, you know, I do bottle service some weekends and other weekends I'm a bartender. Get out my face. That was your big reveal that you a bottle service girl and you do bartending? Child, cut it out. Like, I get it. They dress skimpy sometimes. Depending on the bar, the girls be twerking and all that. But nothing about Raven says I'm twerking it and throwing it back for $5, okay? You know she wanted the stuck up ones, I'm sure. Girl, that was nothing to tell. You could have kept that to yourself. I wanted to see her SK reaction when she said that. He probably was like, oh yeah, that's fine. You know, he don't give a damn about nothing. So after it's all said and done in the pods, our couples are Nancy and Bartise, Raven and SK, Colleen and Matt, Cole and Zanab, and Brennon and Alexa. All a bunch of no's, okay? But let's go ahead and get into everything outside the pods because it's a lot to talk about. All right, so our couples, you know, they get to their resort. The resort looks really beautiful. You know, I loved it. All the little setup, especially Alexa and Brennan's little setup, it was so cute. So when all the couples get together and meet up, y'all, I was waiting on this because I knew it was gonna be a hot ass mess. Then I'm talking about they had sex 5 times. Only for Cole later on to say that they don't have physical chemistry. What? I'm sorry. What? You mean you're not physically attracted to her? And even then, if that's the case, why did you sleep with this woman at least more than 5 times by the time he made that statement? But you slept with her at least 5 times. 5. A mess. And then the whole thing when Zanab was mad when they got up the next morning because he gave her the silent treatment. Girl, you just met this man. He might not be a morning person. Like, and I'm sure your energy is not bubbly when you get up in the morning. Like, nothing about Zanab says to me, oh, she's bubbly, let me give her my bubbles because she's gonna return it. No, she's dry as hell. She reminds me of a supervisor. And then it didn't help, honey, that when she took her makeup off the night before and Cole talking about, oh, you do look like a different person. I said, Cole, you don't say that. And then as soon as he said that, honey, I said, oh, well, shit, here we go. That's it for them. Because Zanab immediately, her insecurities kicked in, honey. And she just continued to bring that up. And he's joking about it. But, you know, a lot of times underneath them jokes, there'd be some truth up in there. So I think Zanab was picking up on that. And it was just cringy to watch after all was said and done. Bartise was being so disrespectful when Raven came in the room. And SK was being such a gentleman. I really love SK because, you know, he gave Raven her space, but then he also was like, hey, this is my woman though. I'm gonna nicely go ahead and say, you know, y'all gotta get through me to get to her. He said it jokingly, but remember, underneath every joke is some truth. And y'all see Bartise was like, oh, we big now. You got a whole fiance over there at the food table, like I would be, honey, eating them snacks. Nancy is my kindred spirit. Cause that would have been me. They talking about shots. She like quesadillas. Okay, that would have been me, honey. I go where the snacks are. And I love Nancy for that. But Bartise was being so shady. And I love that Raven was like giving him a little bit of conversation. But I was picking up on the vibe. I'm like, she's not feeling it. Like, she is just like, yeah, okay, get out my face. And was not here for it. So I started to like Raven a little bit more because of that. Because I thought she was going to be the opposite. Be like, oh my God, Bartise was so hot. But no, she was just like, okay. It just still wouldn't work. We don't have any chemistry. And then Colleen and Cole, honey. It was giving me Mallory and Jared, honey, from last season. Like, they talking about how attracted they were to each other, and in the real world, you know, this might could be something. I said, oh Lord. And Matt's sitting there looking, and I said, Matt got a little crazy in his eyes. Like, if I could zoom in my TV, I would look real close to that pupil, because he got a little crazy up in there. And we saw that crazy come out. Because we're going to go ahead and just get to it now. Because the mixer was the mixer, okay? Let's talk about the aftermath of that damn mixer, okay? Colleen. Whew. So, I mean, she was trying to be upfront and honest with Matt and letting him know about the conversation she had with Cole. But here's the thing. You can't always be that open and honest with your partner. And hear me out, y'all. I'm not saying lie. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. But, like in this situation, she had this seemingly innocent conversation with Cole. Somebody that she dated in the past. Like, this is the whole premise of the show. They are all dating multiple people. They're going to see each other if they make it out the pods. They had this conversation about their connection. They finally got to see each other face to face. They had feelings for each other. She said some shit that was out of pocket, But at the end of the day, she didn't do nothing about it. She didn't flirt with him. She didn't put her hands on him. Nothing. Now, her bringing that conversation to Matt did what exactly? Other than piss him the fuck off and activate his crazy. Because that's all it did. It did nothing. He wasn't open for that type of conversation. He had already told her in the pods that his last fiance cheated on him. Baby girl, that man already told you that. That should put some alarm bells up in your head that this man might have some trust issues. So perhaps conversations about me kind of casually flirting with another man is not a good idea. But Colleen did not pick up on that. She's thinking, oh, we're in love. Oh, we can have this open dialogue. Girl, you just met this man. Y'all have not established that. That takes time to build. That type of communication in a couple. Y'all ain't there yet. Ain't none of these couples there yet. And they found that out after this damn mixer. And so y'all met. I felt afraid for Colleen. I said, Matt is giving me American Psycho, Christian Bale, chopping up bodies. I was like, he is going off. And he was like, well, I guess it's fuck me then, huh? Y'all, let me tell you something. If anybody ever says that to you, leave the premises, because they about ready to turn the hell up on your ass. You just leave, okay? And she just sitting there, and she's a brave girl, honey, because she in a confined space with him. She done went in the bathroom with him, closed the door. Not the way he was talking to her. Ain't no way. You couldn't talk to me like that, and then I turn around and lock myself in a bathroom with you. Hell no. Because what if he had really snapped on her? The production wouldn't have been able to get to her. They could have tried to, but she would have been trapped in there with him. And I'm sorry, his reaction was just out of control. And the fact that she was begging him and crying, and he got so mad over something like that. Colleen, girl, run, girl. Now, Nancy is trying to have what I would consider to be appropriate pillow talk, basically gossiping about the other couples. I feel like that's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do with your partner. So she's trying to talk about that, and here he come. You know, she's like, you know, I saw all the guys that I dated, and I was just like, yeah, I felt like I made the right choice. And Bartise gonna say, well, I feel the opposite. The opposite of what she just said would mean that you feel like you saw everybody and don't feel like you made the right choice. I couldn't believe he had the audacity to say that to her. And she's just trying to listen and trying to be attentive. I think they both had a little bit of liquor in them. I think they all did, honestly. But for him to talk about how hot Raven is and how she's a smoke show and all this other are you crazy? And then gonna turn around and say, well, I hope it's okay that I share. No, it's not okay. That's just not the type of stuff that you say to your partner. Like, no, it goes back to, you don't have to share everything with your partner. You don't have to share every waking thought with your partner, especially if y'all have not established that type of connection yet. Like, y'all haven't established what the ground rules on communication is, what flirting looks like what is appropriate. So no, it's not okay that you said that to her. And y'all, what really sent me with Bartise, and I had to write this down, the quote, because my ears couldn't believe what they saw. You heard that right. My ears could not believe what they saw. When he said this, my ears were blind. They said, what? What did we just see? My eyes couldn't believe what they heard. What? So Bartise says in his interview, so I'm excited to talk to her, talking about Raven. I'm excited to pick her brain. Let's connect in real life, see how it goes. See how what goes? See how what goes? You didn't already propose to Nancy, so what are we seeing? Huh? What are my ears supposed to be seeing? Bartise, what's his name? Barist? I don't know. Burstle? Bartise, what are we supposed to be seeing? That just pisses me off so bad. I just could not with him when he said that. So when they got to the pool a couple days later, I was so happy to see the interaction between him and Raven. Because as a woman, okay, to watch her and her response, I said, oh, She won't have nothing to do with him. Every time he was saying something, right, yeah, yeah, right, yeah. I said, oh, she's dismissing him. She don't want to hear nothing he got to say. She is over it. And I love that she was just like, look, I'm glad we're having this talk because it just further confirms for me that I made the right choice. You and I don't have anything in common other than the fact that we like fitness. But beyond that, we are not compatible. I'm so happy with the choice I made in SK because let's be real, Bartise felt like he was better than SK. Bartise feels like he's the hottest guy there. You cool. He's a 10. But he's arrogant, he's an asshole, and he thinks he's better than everybody else. So really, he's a 4. So as soon as Raven did that, and then she started to open up with SK, I'm like, okay, I might start liking you a little bit more, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because I got my good eye on you. My good eye, this one. Okay, anyway. And then Cole takes his ashy ass right over to Alexa, and then starts talking about how he's not attracted to Zanab. And Alexa was like, I didn't even ask that. Like, he just openly volunteered it. And she's like, shit, you gonna tell it, I'ma listen. I'ma take the tea, and I don't even drink tea. I like the little rich heifer. I like her, okay? And he's just going on about how he's not physically attracted to Zanab, and I really love her, and she's great, but just physically. We get it. You wanted the all-American white girl, and you got a woman of color, okay? And then later on when he's talking about, I knew I was going to get someone I wasn't used to. I mean, I picked someone named Zanab. I couldn't believe he said that to her. A mess. Now the couples that moved in together, okay? And Zanab is just like being Cole's mother. Like, I don't know how he can do it, but she's like, Cole, pick yourself up off the floor. Like, girl, that stuff is gonna get old real fast. Like, I get it, you don't want to have a messy house. This is also a grown-ass man. So maybe give him some time. Let him unpack his bag and then see what he gonna do with the clothes. You know, maybe he got a system. Chill. See what he do. Now, if he unpack his stuff and you turn around and that stuff is still on the floor, okay, then I'm like, all right, babe, come on now. We got to put it up. But you know, don't be condescending. Okay, well, where would we put our dirty clothes? Okay, where would we put them? Say it all together, boys and girls. The hamper. Go on, do that. I like how Raven and SK are starting to bond. I think that he makes her feel comfortable, but then I also think that she can be a little bit of a bitch and he won't pay it any attention because he's just too nice. And I feel like she could walk all over him, which is a little concerning to me. I'm just saying. But for the most part, I'm not too worried about them. I think it's going to be more to come in the final couple of episodes to talk about with them. But at this point, I'm done talking about SK and Raven. I feel like the conversation that Raven's rude ass friends have with SK might impact whether or not he says yes to marrying her. Too much negativity. If your friends are putting all this negativity on your relationship, keep your friends out your relationship. Because that was just too much for me. Like, it's already a stressful enough situation, and here you come with your negativity. Get away from me. Your negativity. Like, get out of here, girl. But so, for right now, I think Raven and SK are going to get married, but that could change next week. Okay. All right. So Bartise and Nancy, honey. Bartise then gave Nancy the cold shoulder. They're not really having the sexuals like they were doing when they were at the resort. Nancy is a boss, honey. She's into real estate, but she's also into real estate with her ex. Girl, okay now. But then it was really concerning to me when Bartise, I keep calling her Bartise. When Bartise got all like the money signs in his eyes when she was talking about how much money she was making doing real estate and how she's like, if my money is your money. I said, Nancy, no. This man is set up here and told you how he's attracted to another woman. He is withholding sex from you. He is acting kind of all funny and strange. Sis, nah. Nah, go ahead and sign that prenup. I don't think they're gonna get married no way, okay? Nancy had a really serious adult conversation with Bartise about values, about money, about kids, about all that, which they should have had that conversation in the pods. I guess they kind of did. She talked about donating her eggs, but then they didn't talk about other things. So I feel like had they talked about that, maybe it could have changed some things. But for Bartise to bring that conversation up with his family without having a conversation with Nancy first to see how she felt about him sharing that personal conversation pissed me off. And not only did it piss me off, but then his sister crying and basically judging Nancy for making a decision that she feels like if it came up, how she would handle a certain situation, sent me. When I tell y'all I had to pause the show for a second, I had to go ahead and step away. Let me do some mindless scrolling on the Instagram. Let me look at some other YouTube videos because I'm getting pissed right now. Why would you bring that conversation up with your family? Initially, when Bartise and Nancy first met, I was like, okay, he's a Cancer, she's a Scorpio. Usually I kind of enjoy that pairing because you have the two water signs, emotional, but they can get each other. So it could be okay. But oh, he is a dog and I cannot stand him. And the fact that he would put Nancy in that situation, fuck you. Nancy, you should have been done with him then. I couldn't stand that. And then you're going to have the audacity to use that against Nancy later and talk about what else you going to bring up. You brought up the real estate and you got it with your husband and then it's about abort. Just say you saw Raven. You feel like you made a mistake in picking Nancy because you're shallow as fuck and you don't want to marry Nancy. And leave it at that. I stand him. All right, y'all, I had to get that out. That's why I said, let me just talk about this now because that just pissed me off that he did that to her, okay? So we get to Colleen and Matt's family. And Matt's family was really sweet. His mom was really sweet. And when she just started crying, I said, oh, she just loves him. And he did have his heart broken. He needs to be able to handle that shit a lot better, though, because he goes off. And Colleen, was just, we love each other. We already had an incident. We were able to work through it. I really wish one of his family members would have been like, y'all had drama already? What kind of drama could y'all possibly have had already? I really wish somebody had called that out because that is just ridiculous. But nonetheless, they're trying to give off the facade that they are just good and brave and they're so in love. But underneath it all, Matt is just like a raging psychopath. And we got to see that when Colleen decided to go out with the girls instead of coming straight home, and he flipped out. Baby, when he called Nancy and said, "Where's Colleen?" Who the hell are you talking? First of all, my name is Nancy, not Colleen's mother. So I don't fucking know where your wife or fiance is, sir. And he's just going off. And Bartise, here I come, bro. They're yelling in the hallway. Sir, other people live in this building. Let's be clear on that. He done packed up his little raggedy duffel bag. He ready to go. He's pissed off. And Bartise is talking about, I wish I had what you had. You're so lucky. How the fuck did you manage to make this situation about you, huh? How did you manage to make this about you? What the hell? He has not gotten over the hurt from his past relationship, and he's bringing that shit into this one, and he's doing it in a very scary way. And Matt just needs to be by his damn self. See, this is why they need to have damn therapists on this show. Having Vanessa and Nick Lachey alone it's not enough, because Bartise going down there and providing whatever type of help he was supposed to be adding, which was nothing, ain't gonna cut it. It's just not gonna cut it. And they need to do better than that. So Matt and Colleen, I don't see it for them. I don't think they're gonna get married. And if they do, they ain't gonna be together by the time the reunion come, or at least after the altar, because Matt is certifiable, okay? And then Cole and Zanab, child, they not. It's a no for me, dog. Like, He's not feeling it. He's over her nagging. She is insecure. As soon as, like I said, the moment he mentioned she looked different outside of her makeup, that was it. Her insecurities were escalated. But nonetheless, he's still a dick because all of his things about Colleen and continuing to talk about how awesome she is. And again, him talking about how Colleen is a 10 out of 10 and Zeb is a 9 out of 10. And basically just kind of making it seem like, but I chose you. And I don't know how to reassure you. Stop fucking talking about Colleen. That's how you can reassure her. Just stop talking about her. And that might reassure her that you're not thinking about her. But the more you talk about this girl, the more it seems like you're thinking about her. Hello. Put the clues together, Cole. And then lastly, Brennon and Alexa. Baby, Alexa, is she a Kardashian? Because I mean, her family is rich, okay? Brennon is a good old country boy. You know, he grew up, you know, pretty much poor and struggled and things like that. And she's very much like from a well-off, rich, wealthy family. And I think she's insensitive in a lot of ways because she's so privileged. That she doesn't recognize that some of the shit that she says is very kind of like snooty and saying shit like, oh, I don't wear the same outfit twice. You're saying that to somebody who may have grown up, maybe only had like a couple of different outfits. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, read the room. Brennon is not that guy. He is a down-home country Texan, okay? He's a country boy, okay? If you can't get with this Green Acres type of romance, then say that now, honey. Because that's what it was giving me. Green Acres is the place to be. Remember, the Jaja was from Times Square and her husband was from the country. Same thing, honey. Same thing. I think Brennon and Alexa will be okay. I think they will be the only couple to get married out of all of this. I think everybody else is going to be a absolute no. Oh, maybe SK and Raven. I think so it might be two couples out of this. I felt like they had some gorgeous people who did not actually get made it, who didn't get matched on the show and they get engaged before leaving the pods. I wish that would be the exact moment that another show would start, and that show would be kind of like a Big Brother meets a Real World type of situation with the remaining singles. Y'all. Because I want to know what happened. Because yes, they have dated each other, but then I feel like it would be awesome to be like, okay guys, your time is up. And then they kind of leave the pods and they go to like an actual resort. And they get to connect and get to meet each other and see each other, and it's still like it's another spin-off dating show. That would be awesome. Sorry this video was super long. Like I said, it was just kind of all over the place, and I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on what I have watched from the season so far. So if there's something I missed, and no, I'm not going to talk about Andrew coming back and hitting on Nancy and Bartise, because Bartise acting jealous about it because all of it was just a bunch of bullshit. But let me know your thoughts though on that situation in the comments, because I'll talk to you about it for sure. Like, I'll give you my thoughts, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. No, thank you. So let me know your thoughts below. How are you feeling about season 3 of Love is Blind so far? Are you liking the season? What couples are you rooting for? Like, let me know all your thoughts, y'all. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see you next week for the last few episodes and maybe the reunion. I don't know. So thank y'all so much for y'all support, and I'm going to see y'all next time.
You don't want to miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer react.